What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and it's time to preview Week 6 of the college football season in the Big Ten. We've got several conference games this week as everything is really now getting going here in all these conferences. Let's start with a game at noon Eastern on the Big Ten Network, Illinois at Iowa. Iowa is an 18-point favorite at home. They're coming off a couple of tough losses to Penn State and Michigan State. Illinois hasn't looked all that good this year, but I don't know. At 18 point is probably, that spread is probably about right. I don't really have too many thoughts on this game, except I think Iowa's going to win. Does Illinois hang around? That's the big question. Wadley should have a big game running the football. Illinois, again, they're just. We thought, they won the first couple of games. Thought maybe Illinois was getting better. Maybe they improved from last year within the last couple of weeks. They haven't looked that good, so it's a tough team to really figure out. Iowa has been close. They are almost undefeated right now. So, yeah, I think Iowa does win this game. I'm going to go 17 points, so just under the spread. We'll say Iowa wins this one. Next game we've got, ABC Saturday, 12 o'clock Eastern, Penn State at Northwestern. Penn State is a 14-point favorite in this game. Northwestern played Wisconsin very close last week. Penn State coming off a big win over Indiana. So which way do you go here? Well, obviously I think Penn State is going to win this game. 14 points. I think that's about right. I think they did a pretty good job on these spreads in the Big Ten, because I think Northwestern hangs around in this game, keeps it around 7 points. A late touchdown by Penn State allows them to win it by about 14. Saquon Barkley, I think he has a pretty good game. Northwestern did a pretty good job against the run last week against Wisconsin. So it's going to be interesting to watch. And, I don't really think Penn State should be on upset alert or anything like that. But Northwestern is still a pretty good team, and they've gotten better since that loss to Duke. So I think they hang around in this game, but in the end, Penn State pulls away. All right, next game we've got is Minnesota at Purdue. ESPN2 Saturday at 3:30 Eastern. And this is going to be a good one, I think. Purdue, a 3-point favorite. They are coming off a bye week. Minnesota, a pretty bad performance against Maryland. The defense didn't play as well as it had been playing. Purdue is coming off, 2 close losses. They lost to Louisville in the opener, and then they lost to Michigan. Played pretty well. They were close with Michigan until about halftime. So, yeah, I think Purdue, they're the favorite in this game, and I think they will win this game. I think Minnesota's defense will probably bounce back and keep this game fairly low scoring, but I like Purdue to win it 28-24, so they barely cover the spread. But if I was going to bet this one against the spread, I'd probably stay away. Really, this game could go either way, but it should be a pretty good one. Let's go on now to Charleston Southern at Indiana. Big Ten Network, 3:30 Eastern. And there's not a whole lot to say about this one. I think Indiana, look at that. It says Charleston Southern looks to carve up a suspect Indiana defense. Well, Indiana just played Penn State. I don't know that I would say their defense is that bad. So I don't know why it says that. This comes from Fox Sports. But yeah, I think Indiana wins this one big. I think it's a blowout. I think they get that offense going. And again, not a whole lot to say about this game, playing an FCS opponent. All right, next game is Maryland at Ohio State. Fox, Saturday, 4 o'clock Eastern. Maryland is looking very interesting. Another team that's a bit of a surprise. Maryland and Purdue, I think, are the 2 surprise teams here in the Big Ten. Ohio State, a 32-point favorite in this game. Just looking at that, you would think, I think Maryland is going to hang around in this game and be much closer than that. But I really feel like, and I've been saying this a couple of weeks, I think that loss to Oklahoma for Ohio State has woke this team up. I expect them to play really well, and I think they actually cover that 32 points. I think this, last week and the week before, that was the beginning of them getting on a roll and really building up to that game against Penn State. I don't see anybody stopping them before that. So, yeah, I like Ohio State to win this one big. Not because Maryland is bad. I think Maryland's a decent team this year. But I think JT Barrett gets the offense going again. And Ohio State, that defense, another shutout. Maybe not a shutout, but we'll go with something like 42-7. Ohio State wins it big. All right, ABC Saturday, 7:30 Eastern, Michigan State at Michigan. Michigan, a 13.5-point favorite in this game. But the way we've seen them struggle, especially in the first half against teams like Purdue and who was it? Air Force, I think they struggled. It's going to be interesting to watch. I think for sure Michigan State hangs around in this game until halftime. I think it's a close game. The question is, can that Michigan State offense get going like they have in previous games in the second half, and can they pull away? Because if it stays close, Michigan State, I think, has a real shot in this game. It's a rivalry game. They're going to be fired up. You never know what really is going to happen in these games. So, yeah, I like Michigan State to cover here. I think it stays pretty close. But the Michigan defense is just too much. I think Michigan wins it by 10 points. And maybe closer than that. We'll see what happens. But, yeah, Michigan does win a pretty close game. And now we'll move on to Wisconsin at Nebraska. Big Ten Network, Saturday, 8 o'clock Eastern. 11.5-point favorite for Wisconsin. And we talked about this on the Upset Alert video. Tanner Lee seems to have some confidence. He's playing much better for Nebraska. They're playing at home. It's a night game. They're coming off a win. I like Nebraska to keep this game close. I don't know if they pull off the upset. Wisconsin has really gotten off to some slow starts. And if they get off to another slow start, Tanner Lee gets going for Nebraska. I could see Nebraska, up by a touchdown at halftime. Wisconsin will have to fight and claw their way back in the second half. It'll be tough. I do think Nebraska has a chance to pull off this upset. But we're going to go with Wisconsin by a touchdown. So against the spread, I like Nebraska, but I do like Wisconsin to find a way to get it done in the second half and get the win here on the road, stay unbeaten. But again, I think it's going to be another slow start for them against a pretty good Nebraska team, an improving Nebraska team. All right, so that's it for the Big Ten this week. We're going to continue with all of our previews today. We'll go through each conference. We've already done the SEC. The ACC will be next. All 5 Power 5 conferences. The previews will be up today. So what do you think? Go ahead and leave a comment down below with anything you agree or disagree with in the Big Ten. Maybe I'm way off the mark on one of these games and you think so. Just go ahead and leave that comment. Let me know what you think. I always like hearing from all of you. That's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports YouTube channel.